What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Warcraft Rumble. Today we are going to go over how to beat Dire Maul and a deck that you can use to make that happen. This is something, some kind of deck structure that I usually use when Dire Maul comes out. There's a lot of important minis here, and I will go through why they're important as we go through their talents, and then we will go through and actually beat Dire Maul in time with this deck. So to start off, we are going to use Rend with Scale and Steel. We're going to use Earth Elemental with Obsidian Shard. We are going to use Fire Elemental with Immolation Aura. Defias Bandits with Picklock, but for the most part, this is just going to be a cycle mini just so that we can get our other more important minis out there. We're going to use Chimera with Corrosive Breath for extra poison damage. Whelp Eggs with Flame Burst, and Execute with Bloodthirsty. So that's really the deck that we're using here. The leader is not going to matter a whole lot. You can beat this with any leader. The important minis here are the Fire Elemental, because he is magic resistant, so he's very, very strong for the second boss, since that boss will primarily do magic damage. He's also very, very strong for the right side of the last boss, because that boss will also do magic damage. This guy can get very, very tanky, and he's also a win condition pretty much if you get the augment that gives your melee minis lifesteal, because he will out-heal most of the damage in this dungeon. I mean, he just becomes an absolute one-man army if you get that lifesteal. The reason that we're using Chimera with Corrosive Breath is just because Poison is very, very strong on the last boss. One Chimera that stacks Poison for a little while can actually take out the last boss solo, even with his healer healing him, and even when you haven't captured both of the kind of extra adds there. So definitely try and keep this Chimera alive on the last boss however you can. Stack that Poison, and he will go down very, very quickly. The reason we're using Whelp Eggs as well as Execute, which is kind of a weird pick, especially when it's not slotted into a slot where it gets bonus levels, is because the first boss, whenever things fall below a certain health threshold, they actually do attack each other, and so we are trying to just get them below that health threshold with the eggs bursting, with the Execute, just so that most of the Stomper Krieg minions will attack themselves. So to go into Dire Maul, we're going to do this live. As you can see, we haven't crazy out-leveled this or anything like that, so we are going to do this. So don't take Light Feather here. Never take Light Feather, because it actually puts a shield around your Whelp Eggs in egg form, so sometimes it can really mess up your timing, especially if you want those eggs to blow up kind of immediately. So I like taking Black Whelp Tunic here. It just helps defend, especially on the second boss. If you get a little bit of a slower start, then you can summon some whelps. So right here, we are going to drop these eggs on the melee pack. We're going to drop our Fire Elemental here, and then we're going to Execute here. And our Execute actually isn't high enough level there, so you can see we didn't actually bring the mobs to the threshold where they would start attacking each other. But it is all good. We are still building up our Whelp Egg shield. We have the tower at about half HP. And we've enraged this ghoul that went and actually attacked the other unit there. So, and this is where we will want to Whelp Eggs again, because we know our Rend is going to die. Let's drop a Fire Elemental to soak this. And we'll do something like that. So this is where we'll drop Defias Bandits. That tower is going to be ours, hopefully. Going to Defias Bandits, open this chest, get that little bit of extra gold, and then hopefully they will connect with the tower before it fully heals. We know our Fire Elemental is going to die here, so we are going to drop some Whelp Eggs just in case something else spawns on that tower. Let's delay this Ogre just a bit. We were a little bit late on that one, but that's okay. Chimera will start doing a lot of work there for sure. Let's Execute this. Drop a Cobbled. And by no means is this a perfect run at all. So, you can. This will be a framework, but just something to keep in mind, that this is not like a perfect example of what you should do, but this deck will help you quite a bit as you're going through trying to beat this. Alright, so we're making a little bit of progress. Not the most progress, but definitely still getting through his units. We'll try and get a Chimera over here. deal with his ogre. And then we are going to be looking to take this extra tower, summon another tank over here, put a little kobold behind him. Unfortunately, that huntress is a little bit annoying, so we're going to put a whelp egg right there, and hopefully did not quite get there in time, unfortunately. Wanted to try and... So now we can execute here, give our Rend Bloodlust, and our Chimera should just be stacking poison. Summon our little tank dude. And now we can stack poison on Stomper Krieg, and he goes down pretty easily as soon as we connect with him. So, again, this deck is not, I mean, that wasn't played perfectly, and our execute is actually not even to the threshold where it would help us a whole lot there. You should just be able to execute things, and then they enrage and attack each other immediately. But even when it doesn't do that, this deck is still extremely strong. So, as far as these, I probably would never take Really Big Candle. I would never take Divine Parchment. You almost always want to go something like Prospector's Mitts, where you get that extra gold. There is also an augment where it levels up your active minis, so definitely take that too if you have a chance, because you will be getting a good amount of minis on the field, and they are pretty durable. So we will be sending a tank to the left side here. The goal is just to get these elementals on to the boss. So summon a kobold. We will go ahead and... what will we do here? Let's do something like this. So we'll summon Rend here in the way, and then we will summon our whelp eggs here. Oh no, that was a mistake. Oh no, that was definitely a very big mistake. So you want to definitely use your whelp eggs to get the harpy if you can, or the banshee if you're able to. That's definitely a very big thing that you want to be doing on this fight. I definitely screwed it up there, but that is okay. We'll let the Banshee possess one of the eggs before we spawn our tank. And we can start rocking and rolling from there. As you can see, even when this deck is played pretty poorly, we'll try and turn this guy around just so that our Chimera can actually get a little bit more damage here. And as you can see, our tank and our Chimera are just doing so much work on this boss. We will actually just execute. We'll commit the execute, enrage our Fire Elemental, and he just kills the boss there. So, as you can see, I pretty much gave the boss a free Rend in dragon form as well, so I still had to kill the dragon and the regular Rend, but it doesn't even matter because those tanks are so strong. The last thing that we are going to get, I probably wouldn't play anything like Charred Instruction. You don't need Blackrock minis to cost less or anything like that. I would probably get something like Bloodlust. Bloodlust, especially if you get your Chimera down to 50% health before they get to the boss here, we're going to be doing a lot of damage. So, right off the rip, we are going to send our tank right here. And then we're just going to save up for Rend. So we're going to put Rend on the left side. These grunts off the rip are not going to do a whole lot of damage, so don't worry too much about them. We're also going to send a kobold there. And see, our tank is doing a very good job at soaking up some damage. So, right here, I like to just take the left and right sides pretty quickly. Some people like to do it a little bit differently there, but let's summon our... There we go. We'll summon our armor tank there so that we can get the Huntress away from our Chimera. And as you can see, we have a pretty good push going. Chimera is going in there. And we don't really care about our tank at this point at all. So now we just care about keeping our Chimera alive and going from there. So let's enrage our minis a little bit there. Put a little bit more pressure on them. And definitely get a tank in the back there. And now we have a push going through the mid. We want to use our Unbound minis on this guy in the back for sure. But as you can see, we've got some poison stacking on the boss, and he just falls down. So the Chimeras are actually pretty durable in that situation, and they will carry pretty hard. So we didn't even get any crazy augments or anything like that, but we were still able to kill the boss, beat the dungeon, and get that 150 gold reward. I hope that was helpful. I hope that helped you guys beat this dungeon a little bit easier. Again, here is the deck that I was using. You would ordinarily want to have this execute be upgraded. You want it to be probably 2 levels or so below the dungeon level if possible. But yeah, I hope that helped you guys beat this dungeon, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.